Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are diving into a powerful and thought-provoking conversation that has been gaining attention across various platforms. The idea of segregation and the truth behind the issue of Jim Crow. Now, many people are quick to draw comparison, claiming that some people are calling for a return to segregation or even Jim Crow, but that couldn't be further from the truth. We are unpacking a perspective that challenges the conventional narrative, where black people today are rejecting the idea of a system that once claimed black people were inferior. The truth: we know who we are now. Black people are no longer living under the false notion of inferiority pushed during the Jim Crow era. What we are actually calling for isn't a return to segregation as it was, but a return to unity, a unity where black people stand strong, proud and above all nations as the Most High intended. It's about empowerment, not separation from the sake of oppression. In today's video, we are discussing the importance of knowing your heritage, embracing your true identity, and why it is vital to separate from an enemy system that historically oppressed and take from black people. It is a call to action to wake up, stand tall, and build from a place of strength, unity, and self-love. So grab a seat, listen up, and let's dive into this deep conversation. It's time to clear the air and focus on the truth, one that has been hidden for far too long. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into it.
Let's talk about Jim Crow for a moment, because I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, y'all want segregation, y'all want to bring segregation back, so basically y'all asking for Jim Crow to come back. No, let's clear something up really quick. During Jim Crow era, they taught the so-called white people were better than so-called black people. White supremacy was implemented in Jim Crow time. This 2025, the truth is out. Everybody know that so-called whites are not better than so-called blacks. That's why the main people that's not wanting this segregation to happen is so-called whites. They want to be a part of what we're doing. They want to know what's going on with us. They want to be included. You know why? Because the truth is out. And they know that so-called blacks are superior to them and always have been. That Jim Crow era BS, that was indoctrination that was being pushed on so-called whites to teach them that they are better than a so-called black person, that they are smarter than a so-called black person, that they are more worthy than a so-called black person, that they are superior to a so-called black person. So we're not asking for Jim Crow back, because Jim Crow, you got us messed up. We already know who we are. Like the Most High said, that we're above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. So we're not declaring Jim Crow. We're simply declaring segregations. That means so-called whites, y'all go your way, and us so-called blacks will go our way. That's what we're declaring. They fear being separated from so-called black people, because we the salt of the earth. We invent everything. We get everything jumping. Without us, they would not know what to do, y'all. So we have to remember, during Jim Crow times, so-called blacks was treated horribly, so bad. And whites were treated so good. I'll be damned we go back to Jim Crow, because we know the truth now. We know that so-called white people are not superior. It's just a front. It's just a front. It's just a put on. But we know America is falling. And the truth is coming out. And these so-called whites are being exposed for the people that they are and have been for hundreds and hundreds of years. And the hidden hate that they have had towards our people, and try to still use it to today. But we know their false white supremacy is crumbling right before their eyes. Like I said, a kingdom against itself shall fall. And that's what we see in Babylon right now. America is crumbling. It's falling because they're separated. They can't even agree. The kingdom is falling from within. But Jim Crow, his biggest fear, check this out. Jim Crow biggest fear was so-called black people coming together in unity. Wow. Coming together in unity. And that's even active and alive today in America. They still push that propaganda to separate so-called blacks, to keep us feuding and fighting with one another. Just check out the workplace. You always got a coon somewhere running to the white man's office, snitching on his brother or sister. This was implemented hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago to still has an effect on our people. But when we say segregation, we're not talking about Jim Crow, because today we're superior. Today, 2025, we are above all nations of people that are upon the face of the earth. So today, it'll be segregation. So-called blacks will be superior. So-called whites will be inferior. It won't be no Jim Crow. Now you can stamp that, sign that, and take that to the bank. We standing on that.
At this point, when you have two kids that can't agree on anything, they always constantly bickering and fighting and arguing, what do we normally do? You separate them. Segregation might be the best way, might be the best course of action at this point. Camilla was sitting by himself under the tent. Not by himself, but with others, of course. Conveniently, the white boys came out from another tent. Eyewitnesses corroborate this. They do. Come over to the tent, tell him to leave. They start jumping on him, punching him, all that stuff. Put out a knife, poked him. Life goes on, people. It goes on. To those of you who are on the inside, that are my color, you go on over there. Stay there. Don't try to come back. We don't want you. And in truth, white folk really don't either, truthfully. They don't really trust. One thing I can say about them that I kind of like is they don't trust turncoats. Their own people and you. And to you Hispanics that think you this, you stay over there too. Let's just separate. I mean, fuck it. Why not? I'm cool with it. It's just hilarious to me that when I saw the posts that them two twins made, showing guns and shit like that, flashing guns, I wish a monkey would show up at this track meet, flashing a little Glock with a little light on it and shit, and another little small AR pistol. That's so funny that y'all tell us not to make it about race, but you do all the time. All the time. Y'all made this about race. So guess what we're doing? Following suit. So just like you stand with your folk, which is what you're supposed to do, nobody faults y'all for that. Nobody. Stand your ground. Do that. We're going to stand with our people too. Period. You publicly display your unity. I'm publicly, and we are publicly displaying ours. You get my point? Just don't fuck with us. Leave us the fuck alone. We don't want to be around y'all no fucking way. We don't. We want to be left alone. And when you find yourself nosy and trying to find out what we're doing, you want to be around and find out, oh, what are the blacks over here doing? What are they doing over there? Don't worry about it. Mind your own boring ass business. Okay? A lot of you ain't got no lives. That's why your nose is constantly in our affairs. Your opinions mean nothing. Your suggestions mean nothing. How we should live our lives. Man, fuck you and your opinion. For real. We all bleed red. We all have the same blood. No, we don't. My blood makes me this color. Your blood makes you the color you are. Or colorless. Or colorful, whatever you want to call it, whichever. But, hey, these are the facts, guys. These are the facts. Frisco police confiscated every phone there. Talked to several witnesses. 50 to 70 or some shit like that. I forget what they were saying. Why they ain't turn this boy loose? Everything was video recorded. Kids pulled out their phone, recorded it. They confiscated every last one of them. But what you're trying to do, wonderful white America, what I've always said about labels, you love to label. You love to slap labels on my people. And once you slap a label on us and you put it out in the media and the media pushes that label to the public, your actions towards us is justified. It is justified. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious. Oh, he was a criminal anyway. He deserved to die. That's kind of shit y'all do. Meanwhile, the Metcalf's father was arrested for sexual assault, sexual offenses. Oh, y'all forgot that, didn't you? You left that part out, didn't you? The boys were bullies. Everybody said it about them. People that know the boys said that they were bullies. 200 plus, they big boys. They think they can talk and do whatever they want to. You were shown that you can't. Keep your hands off people. Their parents failed them. Their parents failed them. Both of them boys assaulted that young man. Both of them did. One of them paid the ultimate price. Sorry, not sorry. Now, had it been one of mine, or been one of us, which it is so fucking often, if he was in the wrong, hey, we'd have to eat that. We'd have to eat it. Down in Kentucky, y'all didn't, something y'all white folk ain't talking about either. There's something you conveniently miss these points. How about one of your constituents, white folk, decided to shoot and kill his black wife in Kentucky? Shot her 5 times. 5 times. And they only charged him with manslaughter. That's it. 5 fucking times. His own fucking wife. So, I'm just saying, at this point, I don't care to educate any of you at all. Any of you. You stay on your side and we'll stay on our side.
So this is just a quick message to my people. Okay, you beautiful brown and so-called black people out there in the world all over. Did y'all know how special y'all are? Do y'all know how special you are to the Most High? Like, he said you are so special and that he loved you so much. He created you to be above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. If you don't believe me, open up your Bible and read it. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6 says, "Thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." Above every other nation, every other people upon the face of the earth, you are above them. This is what the Most High declared in his word. God is not a man that he would lie. And this is what our people have to begin to understand. He said he loves you above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Why do you think they try so hard to keep us down, to keep us out, to keep us oppressed, to keep us separated, to keep us conflicting and fighting with one another, to keep us hating one another? Who done this? The so-called white man's done this and been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. In that precept specifically, it is declaring segregation. The Most High, when he created us, he always wanted us to be separate, especially from these Edomites, so-called white people. He always wanted us to be separated from them. Being intermingled and entertained with them, entangled with them, it's brought us nothing but bad. Think about it. Countless amount of times, it's brought us nothing but bad things. Go back. Think about our history. Since we came over here to America, and for the natives that are from this land, that are indigenous of America, here in America, this is your land. The moment that so-called white people came in contact with the natives, it's been nothing but bad. And this is what we have to understand, y'all. We have to separate from our enemy. We have to come back together with one another and begin to build each other up and begin to love each other, okay? And with that being said, you cannot do that with an enemy in between you and your people. When our people begin to wake up and actually grasp that concept, how powerful we would be as a nation of people. Right now, our nation, our people, and the majority of our people don't know who they are or where you come from, don't know your ancestors, your great-great-great-great-grandmother. You don't know. So you run to the so-called white man to get a DNA test just for them to give you a lie, to give you some sense of, oh my goodness, this is where I come from. That's a lie. We Israelites, we the children of Israel. You come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That so-called white man, that's a fraud. That's not who our Savior is. That's not the real. His name's not Jesus. He was a Hebrew man. Okay? And with that being said, he was very dark skinned. All the things that they so-called don't like about us, they copy. Make it make sense. If you don't like these big lips or this big nose, let them tell it. Or that nappy hair, let them tell it. But then you turn around and you copy it? Like, make it make sense. It's time for my people to wake up and realize how special you truly are. Know who you are. Remember who you are. And know that remember the power and the greatness that is within you. You have to separate from your enemies. Your enemies have pulled you down. And make no mistake, your enemies is so-called whites. The Bible tells us that. We was sold to our enemies. We was brought on ships and sold to our enemies. And no man has bought us. Look at history. That's why they can shoot our people down in the street and go off not guilty. That's why they can have a knee on the neck for 9, 10, however many minutes the officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck until he took his life. And now they ready to acquit him and let him out. And go not guilty. The things that they do to us. Shoot our sisters down in the street, pregnant, and go off not guilty. How they cheat us. In order for you to get a house loan, your interest is going to be 10 times your white counterpart. In order for you to get a car loan, your interest is going to be 10 times your white counterpart. Y'all, we have to wake up and separate from our enemy. I'm all for segregation because segregation is biblical. And these so-called whites, they know that and they understand it. That's why they cleave so tight to us, y'all. They don't like us, but yet they want to be just like us. And they just can't help themselves. But
we need to address a conversation that has sparked significant debates lately, especially with regards to the current push for unity, empowerment, and how segregation is being understood in today's context. There is a lot of misinformation flying around, and some of it is deeply rooted in historical misconceptions that continue to affect the way black people are perceived and treated. First, let's clear up one of the most pressing misunderstandings. When we hear people suggest that some are calling for the return of Jim Crow, we must acknowledge that they are missing the point entirely. The push for segregation today is not a plea to return to the horrors of Jim Crow, a system that systemically dehumanized and oppressed black people. During that time, segregation was used as a tool to elevate one group while subjecting another. It was a time when white supremacy was force-fed into every aspect of society, from education to the justice system, creating a societal structure that allowed the so-called white population to claim superiority over black people. What many don't understand is that segregation, as it's been referred in today, is not about repeating the toxic practices of the past. It's about acknowledging the fact of today's world, the truth that has been hidden for so long. The idea of segregation being pushed now isn't about supremacy or dividing people for the sake of oppression. No, it's about creating spaces for black people to strive without the weight of systemic racism and institutionalized oppression that has long hindered progress. What we are seeing now is a call for black people to stand in their power. In 2025, the world has changed, and we now know what was once forcefully taught. Black people are not inferior to anyone. We are not less than. The era of indoctrination that worked tirelessly to convince black people of their inferiority that come to an end. No longer are we bound by the lies that tell us we are less capable, less intelligent, or less worthy. This message is not about hate or separatism in a negative sense. It's a call to embrace who we truly are. It's a declaration of independence from a system that was designed to break down us. The truth is, black people are exceptional, and we have always been. We have been innovators, creators, and leaders throughout history, but this has often been ignored or hidden by those in power. Let's talk about what black supremacy really means. It's not about putting one group over another. It's about recognizing the greatness within our own community throughout history, from the time of slavery to today's model struggles. Black people have contributed immeasurable to the fabric of global culture, art, technology, and beyond. Yet, in mainstream history, this is often overlooked or minimized. Now, you might be wondering why some would call for segregation at this point. It's because many have come to realize that true progress can only happen when we take control of our own destiny. It's about self-determination, autonomy, and creating a safe space where black people can strive without being undermined or constantly fighting against a system designed to keep us down. Segregation today means that we no longer have to constantly prove our worth or fight against the narrative that says we don't belong, that we aren't capable, or that we are not deserving of the same opportunities as others. It's about separating ourselves from systems and the structures that have historically been used to exploit, degrade, and marginalize us. It's about freedom, and that is something everyone deserves. Now, let's talk about the fear that has been sparked by these ideas. We see a lot of pushback, especially from the white community, and it's important to understand why. In the past, systems of oppression and supremacy were maintained through division. By pitting people against each other, controlling resources, and using fear tactics, those in power created a heritage that has now crumbled into front of their eyes. The fear today is that the veil is being lifted and people are starting to see the truth. For so long, black people were told we were inferior, but that was always a lie. Now, as the truth comes out and more black people embrace their heritage, history, and identity, we see the pushback. Those who once benefited from the status quo fear that the power dynamic is shifting, but that is exactly what happens to happen. We have to take control of our own narrative and stop allowing external forces to define who we are. At the heart of all this, there is a deep-seated need for unity. One of the greatest fears during the Jim Crow era was black unity. It's not just about black people coming together to create something amazing. It's about the collective power that comes with that unity. When we stand together, we are unstoppable. The history of segregation wasn't just about physical separation. It was about keeping black people from realizing their collective strength and potential. Even today, the system continues to keep black people divided. We see this in the workplace, in our communities, and even in social media spaces where narrative is still being controlled. There's constant infighting, petty drama, and distraction that are used to weaken us. But when we untie, when we come together and truly understand our power as a collective, we can change the world. We have seen it before in history, and we can see it again. If we stop allowing ourselves to be divided, we have to stop asking for permission from a system that was never designed to uplift us. It's time to create spaces where we can strive, where we can build without restrictions. Segregation in the way it is being proposed today is not a move toward division for the sake of oppression. It's a move toward empowerment. It's about understanding that we have been held back for too long, and now it's time to stand strong and create our own path forward. To those who still believe in the old narratives, the old lies that say black people are inferior, I urge you to take a deeper look at the world around you. The truth is out and is plain to see. Black people have always been capable, talented, and extraordinary. We have simply been oppressed by a system of power that we are built on lies. So to my people, it's time to wake up. It's time to stand tall and know who you are. Know your history, your roots, your greatness. The power is within you. You don't need anyone's approval, and you certainly don't need a system that was built to tear you down. Now, I'm not saying we need to completely isolate ourselves from the world, but we do need to acknowledge the power that comes with black unity and empowerment. We have the ability to change our own destinies. The question is, are we ready to take the first step? If you find this discussion insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's continue the conversation. Share your thoughts in the comment below and be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.